Hello and welcome back to Whitney Alex Works recap of Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, Episodes 4 and 5, Week 3. Before we begin, please like and subscribe here at Whitney Alex Works for more recap videos just like this one. Alright, let's dive into Week 3 of Bachelor in Paradise. We start Episode 4 right where we left off, with Teddy's sudden departure from Paradise, and the remaining contestants are left shocked and confused, and Rodney, with a date card, hopes he can take Teddy on his date, but the only problem is Teddy just left the beach. And when Rodney finds out, he admits he is pretty disappointed, but his friend Brandon gives him a pep talk, telling him there are other women on the beach who are very excited that he has shown up. There's Jill, who's looking for a new connection after Romeo was too wishy-washy for her. And then, surprising all of us, Lace makes her move on Rodney. They talk, and soon the whole beach is shocked again when Lace and Rodney start making out by the ocean. Well, with Rodney and Lace seeming to couple up, we get some insight into what seems to be Jared and Ashley's love life after being married and having a baby boy. And the reality of marriage is the honeymoon phase is over, and we are left with, well, them discussing how they aren't as intimate as they would like to be. And we suddenly get a Bachelor in Paradise Season 2 recap of Jared and Ashley's relationship, and it's surprising that these two are here under the impression that they want to rekindle their romance, but as Wells tells the group the story about how Jared and Ashley got together, we soon realize that Ashley and Jared are here to stay. But for how long? I don't know, but they are in the intro package, so like or dislike them, they are here for now and are part of this season's storyline. Meanwhile, Genevieve and Shanae and Aaron and James are back from their date all happy and blissful, but there is one teeny tiny problem: Justin. Genevieve, who seemingly has decided on Aaron all of a sudden, goes and talks to Justin, and Justin feels Genevieve is a hypocrite for basically doing what he did in week 1, which is dating around, seeing what fits, what doesn't. So when they eventually sit down to talk, it's really just more bickering between these two, and it seems Genevieve is trying to find any excuse to break things off with Justin, but Justin pulls the same card Genevieve did in week 1, and that it's his birthday and he wants a birthday kiss. So Genevieve grants him his wish and they start making out, but the only problem is that Aaron and his bro pal James are watching. And Aaron gets upset. He's seen this before back on Bachelor in Paradise Season 7 with Thomas and Tammy, and he's having flashbacks. Aaron eventually walks away, defeated, and Genevieve is left more confused than ever. And then suddenly, Genevieve feels bad despite sharing a kiss with Justin, and she realizes that she likes Aaron more, and she wants to apologize about what just happened. And Genevieve heads up to see where Aaron is at, and she ends up waiting for him as he gets ready to have a talk with her. Aaron and Genevieve eventually sit down to talk, and Genevieve apologizes about kissing Justin, saying she was confused about her feelings and how she didn't expect to connect with Aaron the way they did on their date. Aaron admits he was hurt and that he is a little skeptical, but they admit that they do like each other, and they decide right then and there to couple up. And then they kiss, realizing they may have a real connection and a potential future together. In the morning, we see where Genevieve's feelings truly lie. She heads over to Aaron and she kisses him as Justin is left in the background giving off some priceless annoyed faces. And then Justin and Genevieve have another talk, and this time Genevieve is breaking things off with Justin officially. And Justin still likes her, but he feels like he just got shoved to the side and now doesn't even exist. Unsurprisingly, the two bicker again and they decide to break things off with each other. Justin is upset as he thought he had something with Genevieve, but now without Genevieve's rose, Justin may be heading home all of a sudden. Next, we see where Shanae stands suddenly friends with Genevieve now, and she feels like Logan isn't pursuing her the way she wants, and she tells Logan just that, who is more confused than ever as he admits he is in the dark with everything since she went on this date with James. Shanae tells him that she had a good time with James, but she also had a good time with Logan, and she doesn't know what to do anymore, but she ends up getting upset and walking away from Logan, confused about her own feelings. And we see that early couples on Bachelor in Paradise are crumbling as more and more people show up to compete for love. And with the beach in full swing, a surprise date card arrives and it goes to Ashley and Jared. Wait, what? The married alumni get the date card? Wait, okay, so I guess they do, and I'll just say the two have a nice date being on the beach where they went on their first date back in Bachelor in Paradise Season 2, and they spend the day together reflecting on how much they care for each other. Meanwhile, we catch back up with Sierra, who seemingly has strong feelings already for Michael, and she pictures a life with him and his son, but Michael is expressing his doubts about Sierra and how he seems to be getting cold feet about the seriousness of this relationship. But stay tuned about this as suddenly another date card has arrived, and this time Brandon's name is on it. And he asks his love interest Serene to go on it. Serene of course says yes, and the two get ready, and when they are dressed, Brandon gets emotional as he sees Serene calling her beautiful, and Brandon seems to be falling hard and fast for Serene. They head out and spend their date taking off their shoes and having dinner in a pool, and Brandon doesn't waste any time as he lets Serene know he is very serious about her, and Serene thinks Brandon is so sweet as she says he looks out for her and gets her breakfast in the morning, little things that add up to big things in her eyes. And Brandon tells Serene that he is falling in love with her, and Serene says she is falling in love with him too. They kiss and spend the rest of the night together, kissing and enjoying each other's company. And it's safe to say we have a very serious couple in paradise with these two, with an even possible engagement in the future. Meanwhile, back at the beach, we see Michael and Sierra together, and Sierra takes Michael to stargaze as she very thoughtfully registered star systems for Michael and his son. And of course, this is very sweet and a really charming thing to do, but Michael, knowing he feels guarded and doubtful, takes this opportunity to tell Sierra that he believes they are moving too fast for him, and he really just wants to be friends with her. And Sierra, taking it well at first, she seems to understand, but she is disappointed, and they hug and eventually go their separate ways. And then all of a sudden, she too decides to leave paradise and tells everyone that she is leaving. And just like that, Sierra is taking off, but not before Michael hugs her again, and Sierra leaves crushed and confused. And it seems with Michael's storyline that Bachelor in Paradise might not be the best option for his journey, as he cites that it may be moving too fast for him as well. And really, with Sierra and Teddy exiting this week, there are less roses for the women to hand out at the upcoming rose ceremony. Episode 5 begins with the aftermath of Sierra leaving, and the ratio is now pretty skewed. There are 7 girls and 12 guys, and the single men are realizing that a lot of the guys are gonna head home if there isn't some more women showing up pretty soon. And just like that, someone we've all been waiting for has finally made it to paradise. Salley from Clayton's season, who eliminated herself before the show even truly began, has made it to paradise finally, but the women are not happy to see her, especially Genevieve and Shanae. But who is glad to see Salley is Justin, who apparently kissed Salley at Stagecoach before paradise. Seriously, do not play a drinking game with how many times this franchise says the word stagecoach. Well, with Sally's arrival, Justin immediately feels like he has a chance to get a rose after Genevieve has decided to be with Aaron. But Salley is a little flighty as she reminds everyone she missed 3 flights before she decided to finally show up. And Shanae and Genevieve, who are like best friends now, challenge why Salley is even here to begin with if she talked to her ex-fiance before coming on the show. Salley tries to defend herself, but the problem is she is displaying the same behavior she had in Clayton's season, as she seems to be too connected to her ex-fiance still to possibly even be interested in moving forward in the love department. And after being questioned by Detective Shanae and Genevieve, Salley is pissed off. She then, after talking to Justin, decides to leave the show, and just like that, Salley leaves and Justin is again at a loss. On the next day, the cast says goodbye to Sally's suitcase as the mood on the beach is still down and out, as most of the guys are single and have no idea where their rose is coming from this week. And just when you think there was too many men to begin with, another man shows up in paradise with a date card. And it's none other than pizza guy Peter from Michelle's season. With Peter's arrival, there are now 13 guys to the remaining 7 women, and Peter starts to talk to a few of the women. He begins by talking to Victoria and then Shanae, and really Peter can't stop talking about pizza. His life is pizza, his vocabulary is pizza, and his true love just might be pizza. But surprising everyone on planet Earth, Peter and Brittany hit it off, as Brittany seems interested in going on a date with pizza guy Peter. And when it's time for Peter to choose his date, he asks Brittany, who says yes, and then they take off together. Brittany and Peter spend their date on a yacht where every sentence out of Peter's mouth has the word pizza in it. And Brittany is starting to feel a little uneasy about Peter and how he is a little self-absorbed. And really, the date isn't going well, as Peter brags about having jet skis and other material items, and when Peter tries to kiss Brittany, she denies his kiss, making this the second kiss Brittany has denied this season, and Brittany really doesn't want anything to do with Peter anymore. While Peter and Brittany are still out and about, soon another date card has arrived, and this time the date card goes to Jacob. Jacob, who has been connecting with Jill recently, chooses Jill and she says yes. They take off running together, but meanwhile, Brittany and Peter finally return from their date, and soon the entire beach knows it didn't go well. And Peter starts to complain to Casey and Romeo that he thinks Brittany denied him because she is clout chasing, which of course has no merit, and Brittany tells her side, saying Peter was too into himself. But with Brittany returning, she realizes that she may have feelings for Andrew. She ends up talking to Andrew, and they come to realize that they should try out some romance, and soon Brittany kisses Andrew, and all of a sudden we have a new couple in paradise forming. Well, with some changes happening on the beach with the couples, we head over to see how Jill and Jacob are doing on their date. It's a full moon, and they meet up with a woman who is going to perform a ceremony for them. They begin by doing some tantric breathing, and then Jacob, who wisely shares with the audience the importance of air and how when you're underwater, you realize the importance of oxygen to the system. You know, wise words from a land-breathing mammal. And the date gets wild as both Jill and Jacob start howling at the moon, and then they rub oils all over each other, and then soon they strip down in the nude and stand back to back, sharing traits they like about each other. All the while, the two are enjoying each other's company and having a great connection. And at the end of the date, the two head over to wash off in bathtubs, where they lean over and share a kiss, both hoping that this is the start of something magical. We then catch back up with arguably the most solid couple on the beach so far, Brandon and Serene, and we find out that it's Serene's birthday, and Brandon gets everyone on the beach to sing happy birthday to her, knowing that growing up she didn't like her birthdays. Serene is again touched and is so impressed with Brandon's gestures as he continues to be a gentleman to our elementary school teacher Serene. We also get an update with Shanae and her love triangle between Logan and James, and she is still confused, but Logan finally steps it up and creates a moment between the two of them where Shanae is ultra impressed, and soon they are making out again, which isn't good news for James. Then we get an update on Bachelor in Paradise couple Ashley and Jared, and since they are leaving Paradise soon, they are finally going in the boom boom room together. They have their literal 7 minutes in heaven, which they have been waiting for this whole time. Well, with Ashley and Jared finally reaching their climax of their storyline, we see that Jacob and Jill have returned from their date, and they seem to be all in on each other. And before Jill and Jacob can relax and enjoy their company further, a shocking return comes back to the beach looking to wrap up so-called unfinished business. And it's none other than Dr. Kira. She comes back and asks to talk to Jacob of all people. I really thought she would single out Romeo, but Jacob respectively decides to hear Dr. Kira out. With this, Jill is pissed as this is the second time Dr. Kira has come between her and her love interest. And then we hear what Dr. Kira has to say. She has been thinking about Jacob since she left, and she says she still has feelings for him. This is shocking as Jacob hears her out a little longer than Jill would have liked, and Jill, having seen enough, takes off in frustration. Then Brittany heads over and confronts Jacob and Dr. Kira and tells Jacob that Jill just took off and she looked pretty upset. With this, Jacob finally shuts down Dr. Kira as he says he doesn't see a future with her and he ultimately wants to pursue Jill. Jacob then runs after Jill and apologizes to her about what just occurred, with his reasoning as trying to be respectful to the situation, but he does want to pursue Jill and they end up kissing and solidifying themselves as a couple. Meanwhile, dejected and sad, Dr. Kira then meets up with Romeo. They comfort each other as they both realize they have made some mistakes on their time in paradise. And then Dr. Kira asks Romeo if he regrets the decisions he has made, and Romeo admits he has. And soon Dr. Kira asks Romeo if he would want to leave paradise with her. And Romeo, who literally does a long division math problem in his head as Dr. Kira just waits for an answer for about a good minute, Romeo finally says yes, let's leave together, and they kiss and take off as suddenly we have our first couple in paradise leave together. And really have to admit, didn't see that one coming. And that's it for week 3 of Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, where the competition for the roses heats up as there are too many men in the ratio to the remaining 7 women. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe at Whitney Alex Works for more recaps in the future. And see you next week for week 4 of Bachelor in Paradise, where an upcoming rose ceremony and more arrivals continues to shake up paradise.